In the quiet halls of a small archaeological museum, a discovery began to stir excitement across the world. A group of researchers had been studying a strange ancient stone tablet covered in mysterious carvings. The markings were unlike anything they had seen before. Circles, lines, strange symbols, and shapes that seemed oddly organized. After months of analysis, a bold idea began to take shape. What if this wasn't just ancient art? What if it was the earliest map ever discovered? And more intriguingly, what if it was a treasure map? The tablet was estimated to be thousands of years old, possibly created by an early civilization that existed long before modern history books begin. The carvings seemed to represent landscapes, mountains, rivers, and pathways. One particular symbol appeared repeatedly, almost like a marker. Some researchers believed it could indicate a special location, perhaps a sacred site, a hidden chamber, or even buried riches. The theory quickly spread through academic circles and soon reached the media. Headlines appeared everywhere. Scientists discover the world's oldest treasure map. At first, the idea seemed exciting and harmless. After all, archaeology has always been about uncovering secrets from the past. But as the story gained attention, a different kind of interest began to grow. Treasure hunters, explorers, and adventurers from around the world suddenly became fascinated with the ancient tablet. Online forums exploded with theories about where the map might lead. Amateur historians began analyzing photos of the carvings, trying to match them with real landscapes. Some believed the map pointed toward a remote desert. Others thought it indicated a hidden valley somewhere deep in the mountains. The researchers themselves remained cautious. They reminded everyone that the markings could simply be symbolic or ceremonial rather than a literal map. Ancient cultures often created art that represented myths, stories, or spiritual journeys. But once the idea of treasure entered the public imagination, it became difficult to control the narrative. Curiosity had turned into obsession. Soon, expeditions began forming. Small teams of explorers traveled to locations that they believed matched the shapes on the tablet. Some carried sophisticated mapping equipment and drones. Others relied only on old-fashioned compasses and hope. Documentaries started filming their journeys, turning the mystery into a global spectacle. But the deeper people searched, the more complicated things became. One expedition claimed they had discovered a cave that matched the carving of a circular symbol on the tablet. Excitement spread quickly. Cameras were brought in, and experts began exploring the cave system. Yet instead of treasure, they found something unexpected: dangerous underground tunnels that had collapsed in several places. The search team narrowly escaped injury when part of the ceiling gave way. Another group believed the map pointed toward a remote mountain ridge. They spent weeks climbing steep cliffs, convinced they were close to a major discovery. But the harsh environment proved unforgiving. Severe weather forced them to abandon the mission before they could complete their search. Each attempt revealed the same lesson. The map, if it truly was a map, came from a time when the world looked very different. Landscapes change over thousands of years. Rivers shift, mountains erode, and forests disappear. Even if the carvings once matched real locations, the modern world might no longer resemble the ancient one. Meanwhile, historians began to look at the tablet from a different perspective. Instead of focusing only on treasure, they started studying the cultural meaning behind the symbols. Some believed the carvings represented a spiritual journey rather than a physical one. In many early societies, maps were not used only to guide travelers across land. They also symbolized stories, rituals, and beliefs about the world. One researcher proposed that the repeated symbol might represent a sacred gathering place rather than a hidden fortune. Another suggested that the map could be a teaching tool used by ancient leaders to explain the geography of their territory. Gradually, the excitement around buried treasure began to fade. The researchers realized that the real value of the tablet was not gold or jewels hidden somewhere in the earth. The true treasure was knowledge, an insight into how early humans understood their world. Still, the mystery remained. No one could say with certainty whether the tablet was truly a map, a symbolic guide, or something else entirely. That uncertainty continued to capture the imagination of people everywhere. And perhaps that is the real reason the story fascinated the world so much. Humans have always been drawn to mysteries. The idea that somewhere out there, an ancient civilization left behind clues waiting to be solved is incredibly powerful. But the story also reminds us of an important lesson. When people hear the word treasure, they often imagine glittering gold, priceless artifacts, or hidden wealth waiting to be discovered. Yet the pursuit of treasure can lead people into dangerous situations, risky decisions, and endless speculation. So when researchers describe the ancient map as a treasure map, the question naturally follows: what could possibly go wrong? The answer, as history often shows, is quite a lot. Still, the ancient tablet continues to sit quietly in its display case, its strange carvings unchanged after thousands of years. Visitors lean closer, studying the symbols and wondering what they might mean. Some see a map, others see art. A few still believe it points to something hidden. And perhaps, somewhere out there, the real secret of the map is still waiting to be understood.